Hello everyone, Shadefyre here. Today is the 30th anniversary of Metroid. Also released today on the 30th anniversary is AM2R, Return of Samus. This is a fan remake of Metroid 2, in fact I believe the title just refers to a Metroid 2 remake, which was finally released today after years of work. It's interesting that someone chose to remake Metroid 2 because it's often considered to be the worst of the 2D Metroids, since of course it is much simpler than any of the other ones since it was a Gameboy game, and couldn't even really match up to the complexity of the NES original. So someone decided to remake that in a more modern-y kind of style, using, influences from Super Metroid and Metroid Zero Mission to sort of modernize, retro-modernize, I suppose, but to make Metroid 2 a better experience that's kind of on par with the other 2D Metroid games. Now, I should admit full disclosure, despite the fact that I claim to be a Metroid fan, I've actually never completed the original Metroid, and I've never even played a Super Metroid. In fact, I've intentionally not watched anyone else play Super Metroid for the day that I eventually get around to playing it. So I can't really speak on the old Metroid games. However, I'm somewhat familiar with the premise, at least, of Metroid 2, so I'll try to give some insight into this. I guess we'll just play on normal. Alright, so here we are. So yeah, that's pretty much the basic premise that was in the original Game Boy game as well. We're here on SR-388, or is it just SR-38, to exterminate the Metroid species. We're here to commit genocide. Now, previously, Metroids were basically just the one, standard jelly blob with 3 little claws that sucks energy out of living beings. However, Metroid 2 is the one that introduced a entire evolutionary life cycle for the Metroids. From the little gooey guys all the way up to the dinosaur-like Omega Metroid, which also shows up as the last boss of Metroid Fusion. So, yeah, this kind of looks on par with, the Game Boy Advance Metroid games. Obviously, the original game didn't really have color, since it was the OG Game Boy monochrome, where you had black and white represented as green and darker green. I'm also playing this with a Xbox 360 controller. It does support that by default. Alright. I'm noticing we can't crouch easily. I guess you can't crouch while moving. You aim downward instead. Alright, so we can go down there. I'm gonna guess this is probably a bombable wall. What abilities do we start with here? Oh, I guess we can't look at our abilities. So it looks like 55 Metroids total throughout the game, and 1 Metroid in the area, I'm assuming? Oh, here we go. So I've got the suit, I've got the morph ball, and I've got the power grip. Yeah, so the power grip is something from, I believe that's from Zero Mission. That was added where you can grab ledges and climb up like that. So this definitely has a bunch of little gameplay improvements from later games to make it just kind of more accessible overall. It's also got this weird, auto morph ball, it looks like, where as soon as I get near a ledge, if I'm pressing forward, Samus will morph ball automatically. feel like this game plays a little fast, it feels like. I mean, I don't think Metroid Fusion ran at 60, which is why I'm saying that. So this feels a little too fast. But yeah, it feels good so far. The analog stick is a little sensitive when it comes to aiming up versus going diagonally, but I could probably adjust that. So yeah, definitely not a lot of story in Metroid 2. In fact, I'm pretty sure there was no story in Metroid 2, you know, aside from what the manual would have told you. Alright, so right now we're just looking for a Metroid. Save station? That said, I don't know if we can actually kill a Metroid right now. Typically, you need Ice Beam to kill a Metroid, or Ice Beam plus missiles. But as usual, Samus is completely under-equipped for her mission at the start. Though people have pointed out that chronologically this game does take place after the Metroid Prime trilogy, at the end of which it would kind of make sense for Samus to have lost her abilities. Again. Alright, so can't go that way yet. Some of these weird, like, foreground, but also things you can jump on things are a little weird looking, but, you know, I think this looks pretty good. Definitely, well, we haven't really seen a lot of environments here, but I was going to say it definitely looks on par with, you know, Metroid Fusion. That walking forward thing is a little bit annoying. Yeah, I'm just trying to aim diagonally. Oh, there's a weird, like, morph ball dash there. Alright, well, they don't even need to kill these right now. They're just gonna respawn if I do. So yeah, I'm kind of a fan of the, you know, the Metroidvania... Actually, this might be better if I play with the D-pad. Let me transform my D-pad. There we go. I'll just use that, I think. It'll be easier to aim. But yeah, I'm a fan of the Metroidvania format, but that said, I haven't actually played a whole lot of them. I haven't played Castlevania Symphony of the Night, or really any of the later Castlevanias. And I haven't played a whole lot of Metroid, but I have played a fair number of games, I think, that are borrowing from the Metroidvania format. And I certainly like the idea of, you know, getting new abilities and backtracking to old areas to use those abilities to get to new areas. Where am I supposed to go here? I don't have missiles, so I can't get through that red door. And I don't have bombs. But yeah, it's one of those genres that I enjoy, but don't actually have a lot of experience with. And it's not that I'm against it. I would love to, you know, sit down and play Super Metroid. I just haven't dedicated time to it, I guess. I've been kind of putting it off because I kind of wanted to maybe do like a blind LP of it. But... the number of LPs that I would like to do still outweigh the number I've actually done in, you know, the last 5 years or whatever. There's just so many games that I want to talk about and play and, you know, see other people see. And again, Super Metroid I don't think is super long, so... yeah, this is all lava. Yeah, okay, this is not fake lava. There's a time or two in the later Metroids where there's fake lava. That's not one of them. Oh yeah, that's interesting. So you can lock your arm cannon so you don't accidentally aim up. It's right bumper, and then left bumper locks it into a diagonal position. So that's handy. Oh, we do have missiles. Those aren't even listed. I feel sorry for anyone who was who knew that. Yeah, it's not listed here. So I didn't think we had them. I guess it said at the top. My bad. Sorry, guys. That's B to switch to missiles. I was just about to say, you know, what does this button do? Alright, so let's go back to that door. Yeah, because most Metroid games you don't start with missiles, so I just assumed this was like that too. Aren't these guys supposed to be red? Save station. It's cool to see that somebody actually took the time to make a Metroid that wasn't so good better. To not only, you know, make it available now, but to improve upon it without drastically changing it. I mean, because this game was so simple in concept originally... Oh, there's a Metroid. What kind of Metroid is that? Oh, we got a logbook. Oh, that's fancy. Alpha Metroid. I guess that makes sense if Omega is the final one. Alright, so this is just a babby Metroid, so it is not immune to missiles. If I can even hit it. Okay, I was right, you do need to hit it in the jelly bit. And then it explodes for some reason. Alright, Metroid slain. 1 down, 54 to go. It's really cool that they've done this. Because, I mean, again, it was a Metroid that didn't really have a lot of story stuff, so having some of this logbook stuff is a neat way to add a little bit more substance to this, I guess. And again, it helps with the modern audience for people who are not like, oh, the screen is shaking, that means that the lava has drained somewhere else, obviously. Make it a little more intuitive, I guess, for the modern audience. Speaking of Metroid videos, too, I've been considering doing... Well, you guys wouldn't have seen the first Till First Death by now, but for that format, I was thinking of doing Metroid in a, you know, Till I Die run. The original Metroid. Because that game is hard as balls. Especially if you're trying not to die. So I'm curious to see how far I can get through that before I die horribly. That was a whole lot of failure right there. Couldn't shoot him, couldn't jump. So we didn't get an E-tank or anything from that, so we're still at just 100 health max. It's interesting too that this is, you know, not a game that a lot of people have played, even Metroid fans, I don't think. But it does introduce a lot of little things that, you know, like certain upgrades and stuff that would become standard for the series later. Stuff like the space jump and the spider ball. I'm also wondering how Nintendo is going to react to this. I mean, Nintendo is definitely, like a lot of Japanese companies, become rather renowned for trying to shut down anything that they didn't create themselves based on any of their properties. So the idea that someone has remade one of the old Metroid games and then released it, it wouldn't be surprising if that gets taken down. Even though Metroid is kind of a dead franchise after, geez, what was it called? Something Baby Station, Other M, that's the one. Other M has kind of killed the franchise, at least for a while. But Japanese companies are super defensive about their properties, even more so than the already obnoxious American companies. And I'm pretty sure that Metroid 2 is available on the Virtual Console or whatever, so it's like, oh, this is eating into our sales of this old Metroid game. Yeah, it's funny, so because I haven't played, like, Metroid 1 or 2 a whole bunch, I'm actually recognizing a lot of these enemies based on their appearances in Fusion, where they're copies of the original species. Like, these guys are blue, and they shoot down on you. Alright, I don't want to go on too long about this, because I could probably just play this whole game through in one sitting. But, let's see if we can find another Metroid, and then maybe call it there. Since after all, this is a free game, and, you know, you don't even need an emulator or anything to play it. This is a standalone release. So you guys can, pick it up and play it for yourself. Alright, new area. This is going to turn out to be Chozo Ruins. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure there's Chozo Ruins on SR388, considering that Chozo created the Metroids. Alright, so that requires a Morph Ball Bomb, which means I'm gonna need to find an upgrade before I can continue. That's where I came from. And that ledge grab is such a handy little feature. Didn't help me there, though. But yeah, this just feels good to play. I say as I repeat the same mistake. No, but it does feel good to play, especially with a controller. Oh my god. Don't worry, guys, I got it this time. And that's the end of the video. No, we're gonna make it up here. I'll just fucking jump over here instead. Okay, go up. Come on, Samus. This is not platforming science here. Alright, fuck. Oh boy. Oh my god, I made it that time. Come on. Oh, nope. Nope, we're gonna do this. Okay, so the climbing up the ledge thing that I just mentioned is a nice feature. Is a little hard to do even on a D-pad. Because basically, I'm pressing up, but you have to press up and left, which is what I wasn't doing properly there. I was just trying to push up and then jumping off. Alright, made it up. I think I remember these guys from the original Metroid. Alright, I'm gonna get a log here. So this is a Chozo Temple. And some Chozo robots. Oh, that's cool, we got all this extra stuff too. Just mission briefing and all that. I wonder if the Federation teams is a new thing. Oh, no, I just wanna... There we go. I'm wondering what kind of bosses this game has. I mean, are they just certain special types of Metroids? can't imagine that all of the bosses are Metroids. Okay, that was a robot. Another Morph Ball Bomb, which presumably is what we're going to get down here. We might have to fight a Chozo statue, actually. And that's probably a secret item down there, if I had the bombs. Alright, so this statue might attack me? I guess not. That classic upgrade sound. Now we can lay bombs, so we can get into these little nooks and crannies. I still can't Morph Ball jump, though. That's a separate upgrade. So this will lead to a secret. Oh, that's just a shortcut. This is where you start bombing everything to try to find secret walls. Because there are a lot of secret rooms in Metroid, that's kind of a standard Metroidvania thing. Ah, there's a secret. So that gave us a new E-Tank, which gives us 200 maximum health. I like that you can cut it off, too. Still no Metroid. Says that there's 4 of them in the area. This looks like a boss fight room? Another Metroid egg. I guess you can still sort of jump if you use the bombs. But there is a dedicated Morph Ball spring jump. Well, that was fast. Alright, so now we can stick to walls, which I feel like kind of defeats the point of getting a jump after that. Definitely not very quick in this form, though. Well, we can probably use that to get to the top of this area over here, where the Metroid shell was. Ah, spikes. There's a Metroid. Alright, one down. So I wonder if all the ones in this area are still going to be Alpha Metroids. Oh wow, I'm just killing myself very quickly on those spikes. Can I go up doors? I can go up doors. Oh, there's enemies up here. Alright, what's over here? Anything good? Apparently there's not much up here. Except for this door. Another secret over here. Can I stick to the ceiling like that? Yeah, I don't think I can stick to the ceiling by blasting myself. Actually, do I even need to do that? No, I can just fucking do this. Durr. What? Oh, I'm stuck to the ceiling. Way to overcomplicate something, eh? Okay, so that leads to there. I should probably stop. I'm getting into it, and that's how I end up with hour-long videos. But yeah, this is pretty cool, and it seems like it's actually really well done. And as the creator mentioned, this is only version 1. While this is probably, I believe, the whole game, he's going to continue working on, you know, fixing bugs and little problems as they crop up. I think this is some sort of a charge-up door. Anyhow, this is available for free. I'll put the link up in the description, of course. And, yeah, you know, give it a try for yourself. No reason not to, right? I'm Shadefyre. This is AM2R. And, yeah, maybe we'll do some more Metroid in the future. I would certainly enjoy that. And I hope you would too. You folks all, take care.